Hi Leos, thank you for joining me today on my channel. So how are you doing today? Shall we have a look? So what do Leos need to know today? What do Leos need to know today? So thank you for joining the channel, as I said, and thank you to my new subscribers. It means a lot to me that you've done that. Please make comments in the comment section so I can individually say hi to you. So your overall influence today is just being calm, ordinary, because it's in the simple things, isn't it, that bring us greater joy. When we don't struggle in our mind and in our heart, and we don't struggle physically or don't push ourselves too much. So when we're ordinary, it's very much a great pleasure. When you're with a partner or a work situation, just being present in the moment and just taking great pleasure in just being simple. It's a simplicity but ordinariness that are going to get us far. This also has an aspect of springtime, where everything is new, flourishing in its own time. So again, it's being a little bit simplicity in its greatness. Let's see what else is going on. So one has the intensity. So action is needed today to take action in being ordinary. But when we get things done and when we want situations to come to us quite fast, then this is a focus, it's a direction that you can really take yourself to. So what's opposing this newness? Not a lot. So when we have this aspect of aspiring, maybe aspiring to find a new job, which is an ordinary aspect of life. It's a way that one has to. It's the same with relationships. That's ordinary. It's nothing extraordinary, except when you have a sense of play, fun, then that is not ordinary. Because when we lose our sense of fun, we're too serious. So when we take ourselves too serious, we can actually miss the plot. It's like, so for instance, when you really want to control a situation and really are too responsible, we can miss the moment. So this playfulness is all about being directed with your energy, directed that you can have fun and see things simple. So when you see children playing, yes, some of them can be a bit intense, but usually there's a softness to it, an innocent that it just is. So when we have that attitude of, oh, I'm just going to enjoy today and not struggle and not plan the day, it's that's what is an element today for yourself. So sharing and participating in things. So this card is quite good because there is a kind of celebration of who you are, but also when you join together you make things stronger. So if you've got a social event, or even if you're at work, then joining together can make the whole a lot stronger. There is an aspect of a healing aspect as well. So if anything needs to be healed on a level, then this is the card for you to look at where you do need that healing aspect. More energy. So this is why if you're too intense in a situation, it can it can turn to a negative aspect, where having a lighter aspect will allow you to move forward faster, so to speak. So here in the slight past, there's been a time where you felt a little bit isolated and in pain. So moving forward in aspects, say relationships, this is going to evolve quite well if you let go of pain. So just crying, really crying, and realizing what has happened will allow your heart to open and melt. So being frozen out, it isn't always good, is it? So when we strangle a situation with intensity, it can make things worse. And that's why you have to kind of adopt a lighter attitude to it, but still recognize it for what it was. And yeah, so there is a success here, so you can congratulate yourself for a job well done. With success, especially over relationships, it goes in circles, doesn't it? So with this success comes a time of being ordinary again. So yes, you can say, yeah, I'm getting together and we're going to have a fun time and it's going to be quite serious. One has to forget that being over intense in situations can actually have a negative effect. So the success is good, but one needs to be take that step back in rushing too much and missing, here you go, the slowing down aspect. So when you slow down, you can smell the roses, you can notice what is around you. So this is why the ordinariness is so important. So instead of for people in relationships or going into new relationships, it's an aspect where you don't have to over text people, you don't have to over talk to them. That there's an aspect that light and less is more, so to speak. So just slow this down a little bit and don't over push it. Does that make sense? So moving on from that, but it's there, don't worry, literally don't worry. So here we have the integration. So there needs to be the right balance, especially in relationships. So it's a give and take aspect. So it is a healing aspect as well. So making things simple, seeing who you are, accepting both sides of the situation, but take action to move back, slow down, and just let it evolve really in its own time. So you have an energy here where together you'll make yourself a lot stronger. So in other aspects besides relationships, if you're asking people to help you in certain aspects, then that's going to really help the situation, well, your whole life. Sometimes when we do too much, it can be a bit difficult, but there's an aspect here of a healing again. So what is it in your world that you're healing with other people? So again, adopting a simpleness, but also extending the hand of friendship to other people and communicating on a higher level than you've ever done before. And people see that. If you're willing to open up to people, then this is really going to come about, sharing and giving. Now there is a little bit of from here, this pain in the past, there's a little bit of anxiousness and a little bit of, I know it says guilt, but it's not blaming and it's not feeling guilty, but it's almost like regret, isn't it? It's those thoughts that go around, and it's like, I wish that hadn't have happened, and X, Y, and Z. So this is a card where we need to put guilt down, because it doesn't service any service at all, really. So being stuck in the mindset is very difficult and challenging. So if this is presenting itself today, then one needs to just accept that we need to release a lot of pain. You do have success over your situation when you've trapped yourself in your mindset. So making things simple is going to be really quite good. So here is the pain that in a way has to be let go. Well, when something needs to be let go, it needs to be let go. So if some of you feel that a relationship perhaps wasn't the best and one hasn't maintained, you know, the ending or the situation very good, just let that go. It's happened. You know, saying sorry to people is a good aspect. But on an emotional level, it's like we don't have to strangle situations. So you do have success over yourself in the retrospect, that you don't have to feel too bad about situations, but one must let the pain go in order to fulfill today. Now let's see what you're going on in the soul journey. I get the impression that for some of you with those relationships, you can feel that the other person is quite closed off, and so trying to open them up in a conversation and things like that, it's been difficult. So it's very much a case of having a step back and waiting for the communication. But it's their journey as well. So it's a kind of aspect that you have to leave them to develop them and just let that situation go and wait for the communication to come back. Does that make sense to you? That's only to one person, I think. Right, okay, so let's have a look for the rest of us. Go slow, take time. So the go slow, take time is exactly that. Slowing down. Don't rush this relationship if it's a new relationship, or even if it's a bad one. Some people like to go into their own cave and really just want to be in their cave. So if you're trying to communicate with someone on a higher level, kind of, come on, are you all right? I'm sorry about that, X, Y, and Z. Then just leave them. Just know that you're sorry, that, you know, or they're sorry to you, but give it time. Do you understand? It's like difficult. So this must be for quite a few of you. Slow down, let go of the emotional pain, and things will be a lot better in the long run, because you've got the success, you see. So no worries. So I hope that's helped, and we'll see you again next time. Lots of love to you. Take care.